Tennessee Department of Human Services says benefits for the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, may not be available next month if the government continues to stay shut down. Now, the department saying it was recently notified of this by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Service. According to the department, benefits for this month will continue as normal for those currently receiving from the program. But if the federal government shutdown continues, benefits for November could be not issued, and the same goes for applicants. Now, last month, over 600,000 people received SNAP benefits in the state of Tennessee. In Knox County alone, 3,400 received SNAP benefits. Now, one recipient we spoke with says if the benefits are not awarded, this could hurt a lot of families.
I bet it's going to hurt a lot of children. The elderly, not that they really give that, the elderly very much, but that's going all over the U.S. People having to worry about their parents, their grandparents.
Second Harvest of East Tennessee also tells us it is preparing for if SNAP benefits are not awarded next month by boosting mobile pantry distributions, pre-packing additional emergency food boxes, and supplying agency partners with extra products so they are ready for any uptick in need. And looking at that potential SNAP cut statewide, the Tennessee Justice Center says a delay in benefits could have devastating impacts on the more than 700,000 Tennesseans who receive food stamps, forcing families to make difficult decisions.
Oftentimes pass up meals so that their children can eat. People often cut back on what they can buy. Oftentimes it's the healthy food that people can't afford to eat. And so people buy the high processed foods that are the only things that they can afford when they have little to nothing to be able to spend at the grocery store. The other thing we see are people turning to the food banks and the pantries across the state.
As food pantries are preparing for the worst, advocates say it will be very challenging to serve that big of a need. Food pantries are also serving federal employees impacted by the shutdown. All right, moving down the list for us tonight, traffic near Emory Road and I-75, has been a headache for drivers and nearby businesses. But now TDOT says changes are coming that should make the commute smoother and safer. Construction is coming to one of the busiest areas in Powell. TDOT plans to redesign the I-75 and Emory Road interchange into what's called a diverging diamond, aimed at easing backups and reducing crashes.
This is the interchange that serves the Powell and Halls communities specifically. It's a very busy interchange, and what we're going to be doing over the next few years is changing this from a traditional diamond interchange to a diverging diamond interchange. This will make for a safer and more efficient interchange and will serve folks in that area for decades to come.
TDOT says construction is expected to start this fall. Commuters in this area and nearby local businesses tell us they're ready to see some smoother traffic once it is all complete. That's going to take several years. All right, a woman has been arrested for filing a false report. The 7th Judicial District Attorney General says she wrongly accused an Oak Ridge police officer of rape. District Attorney General Dave Clark says the investigation into 49-year-old Rebecca Bowman was conducted by the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. This after Oak Ridge police reached out to the DA. Bowman was arrested following the completion of the investigation and review of the evidence. Now, in a statement, Anderson County Sheriff Russell Barker said, quote, "It is important to maintain public confidence in law enforcement. And as a result, we both hold ourselves accountable and citizens who make reports." Bowman was being held in the Anderson County Detention Facility at last update. She is due in court tomorrow. Next for you on the 7, a man has been taken into custody now more than a week after a teenage girl and a woman were hurt in a hit and run. We told you when the two were hit after the Tennessee-Arkansas game. It happened while they were sitting on a curb along Concord Street. Now, the Toyota 4Runner thought to be involved fleeing the scene. Knoxville police hit and run investigators identified 78-year-old Louis Boyett as their suspect. He was arrested in Dalton, Georgia. KPD says he will be extradited to Knoxville in the coming days. Boyett is charged with 2 counts of reckless aggravated vehicular assault and 1 count of leaving the scene of an accident. We're on your side now with a health watch tonight. You are out of time to get a free flu shot here in Knox County today. Free flu shots have been offered all across the area today, but most locations only offered them until about 4:30 this afternoon. However, The free flu shots were offered at Lonsdale Elementary until 7 o'clock tonight. And even if you were not able to make it out tonight, we do want to point out the Knox County Health Department says it's still a good idea to get a flu shot soon.
Flu can end up causing people not to just feel poorly, but you can end up in the hospital, especially for those in certain populations like over 65.
Knox County Health Department says it takes about 2 weeks for a flu vaccine to become effective, which is why it is encouraging people to get a flu shot heading into the flu season and not while it is at its height during the winter. And for our final Big 7 story for you tonight, a Jefferson County paramedic has now been suspended from his position after being arrested on charges of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. 30-year-old Marcus Atkins was arrested at a home in Jefferson City yesterday. Now, Jefferson County's Emergency Management Agency director says that he was told the investigation involved allegations dealing with possession of child porn. In addition to being a paramedic with Jefferson County EMS, the sheriff's office says Atkins is also a volunteer softball coach with South Jefferson Little League. Now, investigators have not found any evidence connecting the victims to Atkins' job or coaching.